Hello. Thank you all so much for all the birthday love. New decade. Welcome 50. It's such a great number. I'm really quite excited. And it's interesting. It was sort of the bright spot on the horizon, even through the chemo and through the whole cancer journey. I was like, you know what? No, I'm turning 50. And that's a good number. And it's the start of a whole new chapter. And I embrace it and I'm looking forward to it. And I had a great day. It was really fun. Really, really fun. So, and it will continue to be. And I will continue on my healing journey. Certainly not complete quite yet. But radiation has finished, has rounded up, and that is done. So thank God. It was tough. Radiation was tough. It was really quite grueling. The daily visits to the hospital Monday through Friday, and there was external stressors that were also prevalent that I needed to manage and work through. And in my other videos I mentioned this person that I have karma with, that I'm working through and continuing to work through. And this person's in my life to teach me things, and I'm practicing releasing the charge of if there's a communication or if there's some dialogue that triggers me and makes me feel unsafe, afraid, vulnerable, however it triggers me. And in the course of this week, I had a conversation, and it really triggered me because it brought up some of my own behaviors. And it's a behavior that I have become aware of because I've been asking for my blind spots to be revealed to me so that I can see more clearly. And they are. We ask for these things to be shown, and the universe provides that which we wish to see. And it is so not comfortable. So in this conversation, it brought up again this awareness that I've had of a behavior that I have. And when you become aware of it, the next step is to see it coming on the horizon and then intercept it and rewrite and reprogram it. Reprogram my actions, reprogram my responses. And the conversation made me aware that I had done it again. And it was the practice then to be compassionate to myself and not to beat myself up. Because now that I see my action, it might take a little bit of time for me to rewrite the action, to rewrite the habit and allow it to become different. And I wasn't comfortable. That was really difficult. My whole body response kicked in. My adrenaline kicked in. I became flustered. I actually got diarrhea. It had that visceral response on me. And I needed to take that moment to work on my forgiveness of myself. Say, all right, you see your patterns. It's not a biggie. Everyone is fine. No, it hasn't cost anyone's life. It's not a crisis. It's just another opportunity to see it, and now again to think before you speak. Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to pause. Take a moment to reconnect with yourself. And it then also allowed me to see how the stress is manifesting in my physical body. And, even through the radiation, how that was an additional stress, and this karma was an additional stress, and how I've been getting symptoms in my physical body. The doctors followed up and they did an MRI, and it's like, don't worry, it's not nerve damage. There is some slight bulging in the disc, but that's normal degeneration. There's no red flags, nothing's in dire, there's nothing in crisis. So it was coming back to me of like, okay, well then what is going on? What is going on in my body? How can I respond to these sensations that are going on? I'm getting pricks down my arms, and it becomes itchy, but the itch doesn't satisfy it. It's like the mosquito bite that once you start itching, it continues and it just gets bigger. And that's the same that's been going on down my arms, around my spine. I even started it here and itching. It's coming up in my chest now a little, so it's expanding in my body. It started small. Yes, it is brought on by the chemo. It was exasperated through the radiation. And it is also triggered with the stress. Speaking to my beloved yoga teacher, she said, it might just be the body's way of trying to purge the chemo, trying to release it from the body. So the night of that triggering conversation, I'd also spent a lot of time behind the computer because I'm getting my energy back, and I feel I can get work done, and I want to step back into work. I want to step back into rebuilding my business. I want to step back into life. I'm feeling more myself again, and I want to partake in life again. Slow and steady. That's the reminder. Less is more. What I teach in my yoga classes. Drawing it back inwards to me. But that night, I had a really strong response down my right arm, along my spine, and I woke myself up itching and scratching, and I had to just lie in bed, close my eyes, and drop into my breath work, drop into my breathing. The girls were with their father. I was alone. I could just lay in bed with the fan on me and just draw my senses inwards and center and come back. That expression, where your attention goes, your energy follows. So I had to take the attention off the sensations in my skin because it was driving me loopy. And I needed to draw my senses inwards and focus on my breath. Focus on what I could control, what I could contain, what I could harness in. And thank goodness I fell back asleep. I'd taken more of my CBD medicine to help calm my central nervous system and help to deregulate, in addition to working with my breath. So now it was, the work of the spiritual detective. What's going on, body? What do I need to shift? What is in my control? What is not in my control? I've brought it up with the doctors before. Take an antihistamine, they say. Make an appointment with the dermatologist. But it's just a band-aid. I know there's more underlining, And I also need to draw inwards to listen to what it is that my body is communicating, and what tools can I incorporate in order to create greater healing. So there's more journeying for me to do on that path. But one of the insights was, okay, if this is a way for my body to detox, if this is a signal that my body needs help in moving this chemo through and out once it's done its work, my chemo light that I'm now on, I'm not moving enough. Now it's time that I'm feeling more myself to start to incorporate movement. Because I'd been very sedentary that day, and that night, whoosh, it flared up. So I was like, all right, this is something I can do. So I've been taking steps in setting up a routine for myself. I've come back to my pranayama in the mornings, my alternate nostril breathing. I've come back to my sitting meditating after my breath work, and I'm starting to rebuild my yoga practice. I'm starting to take on other modalities that resonate with me, bring some dancing in. I love my dancing. So finding ways to take pleasure in having that movement in my body. And I have been sleeping better. The sensations have subsided. Again, I'm getting a flare up now. I can feel that irritation in my skin, and I'm trying to withhold that wanting to itch because it doesn't satisfy. It doesn't scratch. I don't scratch the itch. It just continues. And I don't want to go down that road. So finding the breath, finding that stillness, and moving the energy in the body to help the chemo move on out. And I'll work with that for the next couple of weeks ahead, being mindful of my stress levels, being mindful of moving my body, and checking in, listening. So that's where I'm at right now. The journey continues. But I am excited about this new chapter. 50s are going to be fun. They're going to be more playful and more purpose-led. So thank you so much for all your support with GoFundMe. I am so grateful. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to start rebuilding my life. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm just going to keep coming back to my heart, coming back to listening to my body. Less is more. I'm not going to jump into full-time work. Never say never. But I don't know what. I'm going to discover what the tempo is to be. I don't know what that is yet. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what my tempo is yet. It will be revealed to me as I keep stepping forwards and showing back up in life, in my world, and refamiliarizing myself with my online platforms. And once I have, I'll let you know what classes I'm offering, where, how. When I come back to the coaching, where, how, and if you wish to work with me, it would be my honor, it would be my pleasure to support you in whichever way you need it. And if my journey has inspired you and helped you, yay, I'm glad. And if you feel that any of the wisdom that I have to share can support you on your journey, I will let you know when I have my schedule set up as to when I can receive clients and when I can support you on your journey in whatever shape or form that is. Thank you. So many blessings, so much love to you, and I hope you are putting one foot in front of the other and fulfilling your heart's desire and finding your balance, however that looks to you. So much love. Thank you.